We're going to explore Fort Matanzas. And we had to get onto the National Park ferry because we were not allowed to come in with a dinghy. So we had to go across, leave the dinghy on shore, and then pick up the ferry. Now the fort is being built back in the 15th century, and the Spanish wanted to protect San Agustin. And in the 17th century, 1740, I guess, the British, they tried to overtake it, but they were able to defend it. There is an inlet that comes from the ocean, and right now there's a highway there, but it used to be an inlet, as you can see right further down. And so they will come in and they will try to attack San Agustin, that is a few miles up north. So this is the fort. So we're going to take the tour right now, and the tour guide is going to tell us about it. So everybody waiting online.
I'd like to welcome you guys once again to Fort Matanzas National Monument. You guys picked actually a really good day to be out here. A lot of the boats were full this morning, and of course the weather, can't ever complain about that on a December morning like this. So, Fort Matanzas, it is the only Spanish fortified watchtower in the world made of coquina. And that coquina is a special stone. It was discovered in this 3-mile stretch of Anastasia Island. It's made of all fossilized shells and sand and things like that. So when the Spanish decided to first build this fort in 1740, it was too expensive for them to ship any stone or any materials from Spain down here to Florida. So they said, use what you have in the area. And then discovering coquina, and when they did, they figured it was perfect. They cut it up and used oxen and rowboats and quarried over from the island here and used that to build the fort. So like I said, the fort was built in 1740. It was completed in 1742, and before it was even completed in 1742, it already fulfilled its purpose. So in 1740, the British were sieging downtown St. Augustine. A lot of people, they look around this area, they say that, well, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, why would this fort be built here? But this Matanzas River here serves as the back door to St. Augustine. So the Spanish realized it was very strategically important to control this area. Of course, the British realized that too. And in 1740, they had ships anchored off the coast and brought rowboats in. And the Spanish, by that time, had already finished the gun deck. They see the rowboats coming. They figured they're coming from the south. All the Spanish are north of here at that time. So they fired a warning shot from one of the 6-pound iron guns. All those rowboats realized they were in way over their head, turned around, and went back to their boats out in the water. And that was it. So in 1740, this fort helped prevent any British attacking, sneaking up the inlet and going all the way up to St. Augustine, attacking Spanish by surprise. So in 1740, that was really the main importance here. There were no battles fought here as far as skirmishes or attacks, anything like that. But one of the biggest questions I get here is why the name Matanzas. So if we go before 1740 all the way back to 1565. So the Spanish had just founded St. Augustine, and they have all their troops stationed out here. And at that same time, we've got a lot of French soldiers who had built Fort Caroline, that's modern-day Jacksonville. The British and French were further up north in the Carolinas and Georgia, so they are moving their way south, and the Spanish had brought all their supplies up from Havana, Cuba, so they were moving north, and they meet somewhere around this inlet here. We're not exactly sure where it happened, but around this time, in 1565, the Spanish, they surprise the French. They catch them totally off guard and ill-supplied. They say, anyone that's not Catholic or an engineer, come with us. Anyone that's not, they killed. So a lot of people say it was between 114 and 250 French soldiers were massacred here. somewhere along this area, the southern tip of Anastasia Island here, roughly where it happened. We don't know exactly where it happened, but that's roughly where people debate that it did happen back in 1565. Of course, the name Matanzas is Spanish for slaughters, so that's where the fort and the river get their name from.
We're in the outside perimeter of Fort Matanzas, and going to get in and explore it. Pam and I were so happy because it's warm today, and we're really enjoying the weather. So behind me is the Fort Matanzas, and they named it that way because Matanzas, I guess, is a massacre, because around the river here back in the 15th century, as the guide said, they massacred about 250 French soldiers. It's between the Spanish and the French for the territory. The Spanish coming from the Caribbean. So they met here in this inlet, and I guess the French, they lost and they massacred. So we're going to go in and we're going to take a tour of the fort. The stairs. Here's the cannons that they were defending the fort. So you can see, if anybody came into the inlet, they were able to fire. Here's the water cistern. They used to get water.
So with it being that force,
here's cups, coconut cups.
A lot of the British, when they were attacking Castillo de San Marcos downtown, they would write notes saying to cannonballs. So what they would do is they'd fire, the British would shoot whatever cannonballs they had at the fort. Overnight, the Spanish would sneak out, they'd remove the cannonballs to replaster it. So when someone comes up next morning, they see that there's
as you see, this stone here is a local stone that it's made of cells and sand. I guess it gets hardened throughout the centuries, and the Spanish, they were able to mine it and make the fort. Yeah.
Is this how they lined up the... Yep, so the whole point of that was they stick that inside the cannon, and they would, the elevation it has to increase.
Here's a part of the mess room. Here's the people guarding the fort. Here's a ride up. So this is actually 4 beds. So you can see section to section. Wow. Some huts up there on the top. Pretty sparse living here.
Yeah, that does look like a rebuild. Yeah. It looks just like the ones in St. Augustine, right?
So you were up on observation deck, you can spyglass, you can see that much further out, and the ships coming from the ocean. Yeah.
Actually, you can see pretty pretty good. You can see the whole area from here.
Oh yeah, so if the
Because the inlet was there where the highway is. This is part of the food storage and some of the cannonballs here. And this is, I guess, the officers' quarters, right? Yeah. Here's the bed of the. Wow, pretty small bed. I guess they were telling us that the average height of a Spanish was 5'5".
You good?
5 feet 5.
Grab onto the side if you need to. Oh, this is gonna be fun to come back to.
Good luck. Vamos a subir arriba, arriba.
Vení también tú. Papi, ¿tú no vas a subir?
Ahora subo yo. Creo que subo.
I guess there's several sailboats anchored on the other side
Dale.
that I can see.
¿Cómo bajo, papi?
¿Cómo subir?
No, it's coming out. Yes, someone
So we're going off to the roof garden.
There's a water.
Wow, it's pretty nice.
Fastest I've ever seen them actually move. Hit my little car.
Lily?
Ah,
Let them go.
It does have moments where it gets busy, I feel like.
and the view from the very top. What kind of bird is this one?
Oh no.
That's why or cattle.
And we can see Mistral from the top.
You can make it? No. Oh.
Here's the cannon. I mean, I love the simplicity. Even they have the angle that they're gonna shoot. So you have the cleaning brush, putting the powder. I guess, I don't know, maybe you put the powder and put the ball in there. I don't know what's that for. It looks like a weapon. And here's the different stuff they put in the cannons. At Fort Matanzas. So you have multiple balls. You have the powder and the big balls, I guess. So different types of cannonballs. The bird is still there.